Mr. Sherman is recognized.
Yes. I hope to learn today whether the administration will comply with Section 5 of the War Powers Act, or whether, in the guise of promoting democracy in Libya, they're going to undermine democracy and the rule of law in the United States. The administration says that this has cost us only $600 million so far. They arrived at this number using marginal cost. Any CPA would tell you that you should focus on full cost, which would reveal that this is costing what the American people think it's costing. That is to say, millions of dollars a week. The $30 billion we seized from Libya and Gaddafi assets should be used immediately to defer these costs. Gaddafi has American blood on his hands, but so do some of the rebel commanders. They fought us in Afghanistan and Iraq, and we should demand that the rebels extradite these criminals, or at least use their best efforts. And it would start by stopping cooperation with and seeking to incarcerate Abdel Hakim al-Hasidi, who brags about the efforts he made against our troops in Iraq and Afghanistan. I yield back.
Thank you so much. The ranking member on the Subcommittee on Terrorism, Nonproliferation and Trade is recognized.
I want to pick up on Mr. Rohrbacher's comments. Libyan assets should be used to pay the full cost, not the phony marginal cost, of our operations. And I know, Mr. Steinberg, you say that this money needs to be held for the benefit of the Libyan people. First, I would think our actions are helping the Libyan people, and I see you nodding in agreement. And second, Libya in normal times produces more oil per capita than any country you can find on the map without a magnifying glass. More oil per capita than Saudi Arabia. Now, I know if we were to seize those Libyan assets and to the extent already expended for the benefit of the Libyan people, that in foreign policy circles would be considered petty and presumptuous. But in America, it is simply outrageous that we are going to hold this money and use American taxpayer dollars to carry out this operation. I'd like you to respond to that for the record, because I've got another series of questions. The rebels include some very good people, but people who seem to be willing to embrace whatever help they can get, not only from us, but from Al-Qaeda or terrorists as well. Have we demanded that the Libyan rebels apprehend, extradite, or at least cease all cooperation with any of the terrorists in their midst?
Congressman, as I mentioned earlier, we were very appreciative of the clear statement that the Transnational National Council made yesterday.
That's a clear statement. Have they apprehended a single person? Have they even announced it that they're, I mean, vague statements against terrorism are a dime a dozen, especially in English. Have they ceased cooperation with Abdel Hakim al-Hasidi?
Congressman, again, looking at what we know, we don't see signs of significant cooperation between the Transnational Council.
Okay, what you're saying is there's some cooperation.
No, I'm not.
You don't, okay, is there?
No,
What about al-Hasidi? Is he incarcerated, or is he commanding rebel forces right now?
I don't.
Or you don't care enough to know?
Congressman, again, I think if we want to get into the details, I think we could have a further conversation in a closed session on this. But what we can say publicly is
I brought this up in the classified briefing yesterday, and I got no answer. And I'm sure if we do another classified briefing, you'll give me no answer.
But I think we share your concern. I think that it is important, and we have stressed this time and time again.
You're serving as the, how do I explain to American servicemen from my district that there's blood, that those with blood on their hands, American blood on their hands, are fighting in Libya, and we're risking their lives to defend those with American blood on their hands? How do I explain that to soldiers from my district?
As I said earlier, our engagement there is in defense of the Libyan people. It is not on behalf of an organization.
Okay, one of the Libyan people that we're defending is Abdel Hakim al-Hasidi. Our bombs, we are risking the lives of our airmen to defend that man. How do I
can't agree
explain
with
that
Congressman.
to airmen from my
I can't agree with that characterization. We are defending the civilians.
Is he not one of the civilians we're defending? I mean, he is the rebel commander in the Derna area. Let me shift to another issue. I want to pick up on Mr. Berman's comments, because I don't think your answer was all that specific. The War Powers Act is the law of the land. Section 5 says that the administration cannot continue military action without a resolution for Congress for more than 60 days. And then if we do not pass such a resolution, there is a 30-day disengagement period. Will this administration follow that law, yes or no, sir?
Congressman, in my future life, I will be spending a lot of time dealing with hypotheticals, but I don't know what the situation will be in 60
Is it the
days.
position of the administration that that law is constitutional and binding on the administration or not? That isn't hypothetical. That is, what is the position of the administration, a law that was passed long ago?
The position of the administration is that we have consulted with Congress, that we have notified Congress.
I'm asking about Section 5 of the law, sir.
The position of the administration is that the action that we took in this case, which is an action...
Will you comply with Section 5, or will you simply evade my question?
Congressman, it's not a question that can be answered in the abstract. The application of any provision applies...
There's nothing
only in the
abstract here. You can't guarantee that this mission is going to be over within 60 days.
Again, Congressman, I think it's a question that cannot be answered in the abstract.
What is clear is that to bring
the President
democracy...
has certain constitutional powers, which he has exercised.
Thank you, Mr. Steinberg, and thank you as well, Mr. Sherman.